is Danielle Dunlop for Possum Stamps. Today I will be creating a card with you with the new Vitamin C stamp set. This one was released last week. It's available in the shop right now. And with this stamp set, I want to show you a technique that involves some alcohol inks. So I'm first starting here with a sheet of Yupo paper that I already die cut with a stitched rectangle. And I'm going to create an ocean pattern with some blues, some teal colors. Then I'm going to move all the ink around with my blow tool until I'm happy until all the Yupo paper is covered. Once I'm happy with my background, I place it in my MISTI, and I have one of these corner positioners in my MISTI so that my background stays a little off the side. And I'm going to use that Ocean Wave stamp from the Vitamin C stamp set, and I'm going to place it right there at the bottom of my background. And then I'm using some alcohol lift ink. It works as a stamp, like an inking pad. It's just an ink that is going to lift the alcohol ink. You need some pressure there to make sure that you have it all covered. Now I'm going to show you a technique that I'm not using on a card today, but when you have that ink lifted with your stamp, you can use it on a regular sheet of cardstock again to stamp that. So then you have a stamped image right there. Just wanted to show you that. Then I'm going back to the background that I'm using for my card today. And I'm using some paper towels to wipe off some extra ink. Next, I'm going to stamp two of the mermaid fins from the Vitamin C stamp set. The set comes with 3 different fins. I'm just using 2 today. And here I'm going to start coloring them. As you can see in the corner there, I colored a set already. I'm only using each fin once though today. And I'm starting here with the RV00. I'm laying down a base layer to saturate my cardstock. And I do that mainly in the places where my darkest shadows are going to be. And then I'm going to build it up with darker colors. So then I went to RV10. And next I'm going to do an RV32. And the areas I'm covering while I go darker are going to be smaller. So with the lightest color, I covered a bigger area than I'm doing with the darkest. My darkest for today is RV34. And it's just going to be basically a slim line down the tail. And then those lines there at the end of her tail. And once I have all the dark colors down, I'm going to go all the way back with those same colors to blend it all out. So here I'm blending out with RV32. Now I'm back to RV10. And the lighter I go again, the bigger the area I'm going to cover again. And then with the last color, the RV00, I'm going to fill up the entire image. So everything is going to be covered with that lightest color. And I'm doing the same thing for that next tail. It's not necessary to show you, it's just the exact same thing. For my alcohol ink background, I'm only going to use the part where I lifted the ink with the wave stamp. So here I'm going to fussy cut that area out. As you've heard me say before, I'm not the best fussy cutter. So I'm always very happy when a shape is easy like this to cut it out. Now I'm going to work on the rest of my background, and I used a sheet of Nina white cardstock, and I also ran that to my die cutting machine with the stitched rectangle, so it's the same width as my ocean bottom. And I'm going to create a sunset sky here. I used Distress Ink Scattered Straw and Picked Raspberry. My plan was to use squeezed lemonade for the yellow, like I always like to do for a sunset, but I didn't really pay attention when I grabbed my inks. So I was a little surprised when I first started applying that yellow. I thought it was quite dark and orangey, and then I realized I grabbed the wrong ink pad. But it all works out fine, and it's actually nice to change things up every now and then. I just realized when I was blending it with the picked raspberry, it blended better to cover the whole area up with scattered straw. So you get more of a red orange background there. It just blends better that way with the picked raspberry. And before I go to my next step, gotta make sure that this is completely dry. Then I'm going to use my Rays of Sunshine background stencil from Possum Stamps. I'm layering it over the background I created, and I'm going to go in with a white pigment ink. This is why it's so important that you have your first layer dried completely. Otherwise, your brush for the white ink is going to pick up all the pink and yellow from the background. And if the background is completely dry, you get that really nice white cover over your background. And it blends in nicely with the colors you have underneath, so you can still see them through. Now it is time to reveal that background. It's always my favorite part. And look at that gorgeous sunset with the sun rays. Now you also got to make sure this is properly dried. That white ink stays wet for quite a while. You can also use it for heat embossing with embossing powder. So that is why it stays wet a little longer. Where you're going to stamp your sentiment over it, you need a couple prints of it to capture properly. And this sentiment is also from the new Vitamin C stamp set. Then I have my mermaid fins glued to that ocean wave. And I put the whole thing on foam squares so that it's really going to stand out from that background. And then the last part, I'm going to glue this card front down on a card base. And with all these bright colors, I really like to have that white border from the card base around it. I hope you enjoyed watching this card come together. Please hit that like and subscribe button, and I'll see you guys all next time. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.